Hi everyone, it's Allie with Bold North Frenchies. As I shared with you, for some reason my account has been reported, so I cannot do live videos. That usually lasts like a month when people do that. So I am going to answer some questions today in this video. I asked for some of your question submissions, so hopefully you guys appreciate this video and find it helpful. The first question I got asked was, what kind of progesterone machine do we have? So we originally got ours a few years ago off of Amazon. I believe the brand was Shinova, S-H-I-N-O-V-A. However, it is now also carried on Alibaba. It is orange, and we actually order all of our tests and things like that now right off of Alibaba. And so, you know, go and check there. I saw it on there for a couple $1,000s for the entire unit. And the other question you guys asked was, what do the first 24 hours post C-section look like? So usually what happens is when we are on our way home, we ask the vet for an oxytocin shot, especially if the mom didn't go into like full-blown natural labor. You definitely need an oxytocin shot. This is Kevin Hart Jr. And so we come home, we have a car incubator. We do not have mom and babies together, and we keep them separate in the car. But right when we get home, we weigh the puppies. We already have the whelping box. The lamp has already been on. And so we immediately after we weigh the puppies, have the puppies nurse. And then we suction them, and we kind of do this for every 2 hours, as you guys know, which a lot of times it's less than 2 hours, because by the time they nurse, which is about 15 to 20 minutes, the next time they're gonna feed is actually about another hour and 40 minutes. So it's just getting into the routine the first 24 hours. Ear taping. Typically you do not need to tape French Bulldogs' ears. If their ears are still floppy like this, chances are they're teething. But if you get to about like 8 weeks and the ears still haven't popped up, we will take some medical, like the white paper tape. You pinch the ear forward, you tape it, and after 24 hours, take it off, and the ears will usually stay up. Puppy constipation. We get asked about this a lot. The thing that we do that works the best is a warm water enema with a syringe. So we have a tiny little syringe, you put a little bit of warm water in there, you shoot it up there, and it usually will break things up. If your puppy has gas, those Mylicon drops that you can get at Walgreens in the baby section work great for baby puppies as well. Switching to raw. So here's how we switch to raw. We actually fed our dogs the kibble in the morning, which of course they were still throwing up and pooping a ton with the kibble. So we fed them in the morning. Then we fasted them until the next morning. So they didn't eat the rest of the day. So it was basically a 24-hour fast. And then we started them on raw. Cold turkey, just started them on raw. We had zero issues doing that. That is what our raw food distributor, Max, who is the owner of there. If you guys I've referred a lot of people to but Max and his wife and his team are amazing, and they are so knowledgeable about raw food. So if you ever have any questions, you can give them a call, and super, super knowledgeable. But that is what Max recommended, and that's really what worked for us. C-section and no symptoms, but progesterone is under a 2. Yes, we would, because that labor is coming any minute. And of course, you would prefer them to be panting, scratching, going into labor, because that means their milk is going to let down. But by the time you probably drive home and get settled, that girl's gonna go into labor, and you don't want her to push a puppy out in the car, preferably. So if her progesterone is below a 2, her reverse progesterone, I would feel comfortable cutting for the C-section. A lot of people ask, should I breed on heat 1 or heat 2? Always heat 2 or heat 3 is our suggestion. People ask about yeast on the paws, and that can happen. They get kind of pinky. And I will say though, ever since we switched to raw food, we have had zero issues with yeasty paws. But if you have a Frenchie and their paws look kind of pink, like around their foot area, that usually indicates yeast. And what you can use is apple cider vinegar to clean that off and to get rid of the yeast. But I will tell you, switching to a raw diet, you won't have those issues. Finally, the last question that somebody asked me was for our puppy, 4-month-old puppy, should we do a playpen or a kennel? Now, if you are potty training, you don't want to put them in a playpen unless you are planning on just having them go on a potty pad as part of their indoor potty routine. If you are potty training, you don't want them to have all that area. So we crate train, which means either the dog is on a harness, on a leash, going with us wherever we go in the house when we're potty training, or they're in their kennel with the divider in it, and it's very small space so they can't turn around and go potty. So crate training is about a 2-week commitment, but it works. Yes, you have to wake up in the middle of the night and take them out. Yes, you have to really be diligent about taking them out regardless of the weather. Trust me, it snows here and everything. We have had to shovel paths. We've had to take dogs out with big umbrellas. But if you do it right, they will be potty trained for life. So if you are potty training, the less area they have, the better. And then when they are not in their kennel, which I don't recommend leaving them in there a ton, but when they're just around the house with you, bring them with you, because puppies are sneaky. And when they are walking around with you, chances are they're not going to sneak and have an accident. So just every hour, every 2 hours, take them out to go potty. But just kind of keep them as your little buddy. So hopefully you guys found this helpful. I'll try to do more of these. Of course, I'm still going to do my Friday questions, but sometimes it's easier for me just to answer verbally these questions, and I'll try to do this more often. I'll try to go live once I'm able to. So Kevin Hart Jr. and I, he's very enthralled with all of my answers, as you can tell. Found his little pillow on the countertop. Hopefully you're having a great day, and we say goodbye.